Penned by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred in the 8th century, the Necronomicon, or Al-Azif, is the most feared and enigmatic text in the occult tradition. This tome, written in madness, documents a terrifying vision of the universe that lies just beyond human perception. Al-Hazred claimed to have ventured into realms unseen by mortal eyes, learning forbidden rites and rituals that traverse the boundaries of life and death. Though countless copies of the book have been destroyed over the centuries, fragments remain, surfacing in the hands of those desperate for arcane knowledge. The Necronomicon is a cryptic and chaotic collection of dark wisdom, its chapters charting the intersections of life, death, and the otherworldly. Each chapter is a veiled guide to arcane rituals, practices of necromancy, and explorations of hidden dimensions where the living are forbidden to tread. Though the book never names them directly, it hints at the existence of ancient and cosmic forces that predate humanity and whose influence still lingers over our world. Chapter 1: The Echoes of the Dead. The first chapter explores necromancy and the art of communing with the dead. Al-Hazred provides detailed descriptions of rituals meant to contact the spirits of those long past, using symbols and chants that resonate with the echoes of the afterlife. However, Al-Hazred's text is clear that to open the door to the dead is to invite peril, for the dead do not always return in forms that are recognizable or benevolent. The chapter warns of spirits who cling to life, not out of love, but from a hunger for what they lost, and it hints at forces beyond mere ghosts, beings older and more malevolent than death itself. Throughout the chapter, veiled references are made to a nameless void where souls go to be devoured by powers unknown. These hints suggest that the dead do not rest peacefully, but are instead trapped in the unseen grasp of entities that lie beyond the understanding of the living. The rituals Al-Hazred describes offer the living access to this hidden realm, but with each invocation, the risk of awakening something more than a restless spirit grows. The dead do not rest in silence. They whisper in the cracks between our world and the void. To summon them is to risk hearing more than the voices of the departed. Chapter 2: The Forgotten Rituals of the Ancients. In this chapter, Al-Hazred chronicles long-lost rituals that date back to forgotten civilizations. He describes ancient practices that call upon the forces of nature and the cosmos to bend reality to the will of the practitioner. The rituals are not simple spells, but complex, multi-layered ceremonies that require precise alignment of the stars and the use of esoteric symbols. Through these rites, the practitioner is said to manipulate time, open gates to unknown worlds, and summon forth power from realms that have been sealed away. While Al-Hazred does not name the beings that lurk behind these gates, his cryptic language suggests that they are not gods in the traditional sense. Instead, they are ancient forces, slumbering just beyond the veil of reality, awaiting the right conditions to re-enter our world. The chapter is filled with dire warnings, implying that those who perform these rites risk more than their lives. They risk unraveling the fabric of existence itself, allowing forgotten horrors to seep back into the world. The rituals of the ancients were not forgotten by chance, but erased by fear. Those who dare to recover their knowledge will find the cost of such wisdom is the erosion of their soul. Chapter 3: The Abyss of Dreams. Al-Hazred devotes this chapter to the study of dreams and their connection to the unseen realms. He writes that the world of dreams is not merely the product of the sleeping mind, but a gateway to a deeper reality, a realm where time and space cease to exist, and the dreamer can glimpse truths too terrible for waking consciousness. The text describes techniques to enter this realm intentionally, using chants and symbols to control one's passage into the dream world. Once there, the practitioner can travel to distant lands, encounter beings from other planes, or delve into the deepest mysteries of existence. However, the dream realm is not without its dangers. Al-Hazred warns that dreams are haunted by forces beyond human understanding, and that to linger too long is to risk becoming lost. Some dreamers, he claims, have encountered vast, incomprehensible beings, shapes that twist and shift in the darkness, ancient minds that touch upon the dreamer's consciousness and leave behind madness. These beings are never explicitly named, but their presence is felt, lurking at the edges of Alhazred's fragmented descriptions. In dreams, we walk paths untrodden by waking feet, but beware, for some paths lead not to light, but to a chasm of shadows from which no dreamer returns whole. Chapter 4. The Key to the Gates of the Beyond. This chapter presents a series of arcane diagrams and symbols, each purported to serve as a key to unlocking the gates that separate the mortal world from other dimensions. Alhazred explains that these gates, though hidden, are always present, at the boundaries of our perception, in the folds of time, and at the points where the natural world intersects with forces beyond our understanding. The rituals he outlines are designed to open these gates and allow the practitioner to step into realms that exist parallel to our own. The chapter hints that these other realms are inhabited by ancient and malevolent entities, but it refrains from naming them. Instead, it speaks in riddles, suggesting that these beings are remnants of an earlier creation, predating humanity and watching from the darkness. Alhazred also hints at a price for crossing these thresholds, a cost not in gold or blood, but in the very essence of one's soul. The text warns that few return from these journeys, and those who do are forever marked by what they have seen. The gates to other realms are ever present, hidden in plain sight. To open them is not a matter of will, but of surrendering to the pull of forces older than time itself. Chapter 5. The Call of the Abyss. In this chapter, Alhazred speaks of the Abyss, a place where the boundaries between life, death, and the void blur. He describes this abyss as a vast chasm, an infinite void that lies beyond the reach of mortal comprehension. It is from this abyss that the most powerful forces in the universe are said to emerge, though Alhazred refuses to define these forces explicitly. Instead, he describes the abyss as a place of endless blackness, where time does not flow, and where the mind dissolves into chaos. The chapter also provides an unsettling description of rituals designed to summon forth energies from the abyss. These energies, Alhazred claims, can be harnessed for both creation and destruction, though they carry a terrible cost. The practitioner who taps into this power may find themselves overwhelmed by it, their body and mind torn apart by forces too vast to control. Alhazred writes that the abyss is not a place to be understood or conquered, but one to be feared. Its power is beyond comprehension, and those who seek it risk annihilation. The abyss is not merely emptiness, it is a devouring void, where the mind dissolves, and the soul is drawn into a darkness from which it can never be reclaimed. Chapter 6. The Forgotten Cities of the Dead. This chapter explores the ancient, sunken cities that Alhazred claims still exist on Earth, hidden beneath oceans, deserts, and ruins. These cities, he writes, were once the homes of civilizations that worshipped dark and forgotten gods. Though these cities have fallen into ruin, their legacy endures, and their ancient power can still be felt by those who know how to find them. The text describes cryptic maps and rituals that can lead a practitioner to these lost cities, where they might uncover artifacts of immense power. Alhazred warns, however, that these cities are cursed. Their inhabitants, though long dead, are not at rest, and the ruins are haunted by the remnants of their unholy rites. He writes of strange, flickering lights seen at night over the ruins, and of whispers that emanate from the deepest chambers, as if the dead themselves were calling out from beyond. In these pages, Alhazred leaves his most dire warning. The cities of the dead are not places of refuge or knowledge, but prisons, constructed to contain forces that, if unleashed, could bring about the end of all things. Beneath the waves and sand, beneath the ruins of forgotten empires, lie cities not meant for human eyes. Their builders are long gone, but the shadows they left behind still hunger for the living. Chapter 7. The Whispers of the Old Ones. In the final and most cryptic chapter of the Necronomicon, Abdul al-Hazred delves into the darkest of mysteries, the existence of the Old Ones, ancient gods who predate humanity and linger in forgotten corners of the cosmos. Though al-Hazred never names them outright, his text alludes to entities whose power transcends time and space, forces that once ruled the earth and will one day rise again. These beings, he warns, are not like the gods worshipped by men, but primordial forces of chaos and darkness, slumbering in the void and awaiting the moment to reclaim their dominion. Al-Hazred describes how the Old Ones communicate not through speech, but through whispers carried on the winds of time, their voices heard only by those who have peered too far beyond the veil of reality. These whispers, he writes, contain knowledge forbidden to mankind, secrets of creation and destruction, truths that could drive a man to madness if fully understood. Al-Hazred hints at rituals that can invoke their presence, but offers no clear instructions, only fragments of verses and symbols that seem to unravel the mind as they are read. The chapter concludes with a grim warning. The Old Ones are not bound by the laws of men or gods, and their return is inevitable. Al-Hazred hints that their influence is already felt in the world, manifesting in nightmares, strange phenomena, and the growing unrest in the hearts of mankind. The final lines of the chapter speak of a time when the stars will align, and the Old Ones will awaken from their slumber, plunging the world into an age of chaos and darkness. They are not dead, but sleeping, their whispers carried on the winds of eternity. Those who hear their call are doomed to madness, for the Old Ones wait beyond the stars, biding their time until the world is ripe for their return.